Most people think staying calm is about personality. But neuroscience shows something very different. There are actually 3 systems in your brain that control emotional reactions. And if you learn how to control just one of them, you can stay calm in situations where most people lose control. Imagine this. You are in the middle of an argument. Someone says something that hits your ego. Your heart starts racing. Your breathing becomes faster. Your brain is already preparing the perfect comeback. And before you even realize it, you react. You say something you regret. Later that night you replay the moment and think, "Why did I lose control?" Here's the shocking truth. In that moment, you weren't fully in control of your brain. Your brain had been hijacked by an ancient survival system. But here's the fascinating part. Some people almost never lose their calm. Elite athletes, special forces soldiers, great leaders. They experience the same emotions, but they respond very differently. Today I'll show you the science behind emotional reactions, the techniques used by elite performers, and a 2,000-year-old Stoic principle that modern neuroscience now confirms. But before we get to the techniques, you need to understand something called the Amygdala Hijack. Part 1. Why Humans Lose Calm, Amygdala Hijack. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how smart people still lose their temper instantly? It's strange. Highly intelligent people, successful people, even trained professionals, sometimes react emotionally in seconds. Why? Because emotional reactions are not controlled by intelligence. They're controlled by a tiny structure deep inside your brain called the amygdala. Think of the amygdala as your brain's emergency alarm system. When it detects a threat, it instantly activates the fight-or-flight response. Adrenaline floods your body. Cortisol rises. Your heart rate increases. But here's the critical part. During this moment, your logical brain temporarily shuts down. Psychologist Daniel Goleman calls this the amygdala hijack. Your emotional brain grabs the steering wheel before your rational brain even wakes up. Think of your brain like a car with 2 drivers. Driver 1 is calm, logical, analytical. Driver 2 is emotional, reactive, impulsive. When stress appears, Driver 2 grabs the wheel. And suddenly, you're no longer thinking clearly. But here's the good news. Once you understand this system, you can interrupt it. And the first method comes from neuroscience. Part 2. The 90-second rule. A neuroscientist named Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor discovered something remarkable. When an emotional reaction happens, the chemical surge in your body lasts about 90 seconds. That's it. Anger, fear, embarrassment, all of it naturally fades within a minute and a half. But here's where most people sabotage themselves. Instead of letting the emotional wave pass, they replay the moment in their head. Why did they say that? I can't believe this happened. Every thought releases another wave of stress chemicals. It's like restarting the storm again and again. Think of emotions like ocean waves. If you fight the wave, you get pulled under. But if you stay still, the wave passes. So the strategy becomes simple. The 90-second pause when something triggers you. Pause. Don't react. Don't defend yourself. Just wait. Most emotional damage happens in the first few seconds of reaction. But calm people do something different. They let the emotional wave pass. And once the wave passes, logic returns. But there's a faster way to calm your brain. And it starts with something you're doing right now. Breathing. Part 3. The Navy SEAL breathing technique. Researchers studying Navy SEALs noticed something fascinating. These soldiers operate in extreme stress. Yet many remain remarkably calm. Their secret? Breathing control. Because breathing directly controls your nervous system. Your body has 2 main systems. The sympathetic system, fight or flight mode, and the parasympathetic system, calm and recovery mode. Breathing acts like a switch between these two systems. The technique they use is called box breathing. Inhale for seconds, hold for seconds, exhale for seconds, hold for seconds. Repeat. Within minutes, your heart rate slows. Your brain receives a signal that the danger is over. Think of breathing like the remote control for your nervous system. When you control your breath, you control your state. But emotional reactions don't only come from biology. They also come from how we interpret events. Part 4. The Cognitive Model, CBT. Psychologists discovered something surprising. Events themselves do not create emotions. Interpretations do. This principle comes from cognitive behavioral therapy. The model works like this: event, thought, emotion, reaction. Let's test it. Your boss sends a message. We need to talk. One person thinks, I'm in trouble. Emotion, anxiety. Another person thinks, maybe it's about a new opportunity. Emotion, curiosity. Same event. Different interpretation. Different emotional reaction. This leads to a powerful strategy called cognitive reframing. When something stressful happens, ask yourself, what else could this mean? Am I assuming the worst? What would a calm person think here? This activates your prefrontal cortex, the decision-making part of the brain, and emotional reactions lose their power. But there's a deeper layer to emotional control, one that philosophers understood 2,000 years ago. Part 5. Stoic Philosophy, the Control Model. The Stoic philosophers believed most human suffering comes from focusing on things we cannot control. They developed a powerful principle called the dichotomy of control. Life can be divided into two categories: things you control, your thoughts, your actions, your attitude. Things you do not control, other people's opinions, unexpected events, the past, external circumstances. The Stoics believed emotional chaos happens when we obsess over things in this second category. Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius practiced this daily. Whenever something stressful happened, he asked himself, is this within my control? If the answer was no, he let it go. Psychologist William James later expressed the same idea perfectly when he said, the greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another. In other words, your power lies in choosing your focus. Focus on what you can control, and your mind becomes calmer instantly. But in emotional moments, we still need a practical strategy. Part 6. The STOP strategy. Psychologists developed a simple framework used in leadership training and therapy. It's called the STOP method. S. Stop. Pause immediately. T. Take a breath. Slow breathing stabilizes your nervous system. O. Observe. Notice your emotions and what triggered them. P. Proceed. Respond deliberately instead of reacting emotionally. Think of this like switching from autopilot to manual control. Because calm people don't suppress emotions. They manage them strategically. Final analogy: imagine two chess players. One reacts emotionally to every move. The other stays calm. Observes. Analyzes. Plans. Who wins? Almost always, the calm player. Life works exactly the same way. When you stay calm, you see the board clearly. And the person who sees clearly always has the advantage. Final punchline: anyone can stay calm when life is easy. The real test of strength is staying calm when chaos arrives. Because in a chaotic world, the calm mind always wins.